Parts shop now and find out if they how much they cost, because I know at the dealership, at the Audi dealership, it's about $780 for one sensor, for this airflow sensor. But if I can get an aftermarket one on a much cheaper rate, I'd rather do that. Even if it costs me $200, I'm willing to give it a try. If I'm wrong, start again. Still has a little. Still has some go, but not enough. Not really where it should be. Back with the Audi issues. Today I'm back probing the what do you call it? The airflow sensor. I'm back probing the airflow sensor. I've got an oscilloscope that I've had for a while. I haven't used it, so I thought today would be a good time to practice. And so I'm gonna try and see if I can use my oscilloscope. I've got a digital one, which is here, right here. I've plugged it up. Just a simple one, handheld. I'm gonna see if I can use that to back probe this airflow sensor right here. I've got a pin right here that I've actually plugged into the back of the wiring. So I'm going to do each and every one of these. I've already tried it. This one, this green one with the yellow stripe, this green one here, the small green one, and the red one. One of these is going to be the airflow circuit or wiring. One of them is going to be probably like a temperature sensor. I'm going to guess it's probably going to be this one's going to be temperature, or it's just a power supply for this module, because it's got a little, I think there's some kind of microchips in there as well. But this is all just guesswork. I'm not a professional at this yet. I'm pretty much a beginner when it comes to diagnosing, like probing into wiring circuits. I've had to take this car to another place before to get it scanned, and they were able to extract some codes out of the ECU, and nothing came up as an airflow definitely bad, but it can be bad. I've heard from people and other programs on YouTube that these things can get dirty and it might need a clean out. And even if you scan the ECU, it will not tell you that this is faulty. Sometimes it will tell you, sometimes it won't tell you, depending on how faulty it is. At the moment, there's no airflow codes in there. It was all about the boost, over boosting, things like that. So right now, I'm suspecting this is the fault here. I'm gonna try and start checking this thing. So here I go. I've got it in the off position. Make sure when you're back probing anything at the front here, any sensors, that you switch the engine off and then probe it. Here we go. I'm going to switch it on now. I'm going to turn the ignition on and just watch what happens. I'm going to switch it off again just to get an idea of. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. I know how to use this thing, I know how to use this basically, but I'm not a professional now. There's on mine here, there's can magnify that wave. I want to magnify it because it is small. You can change the time that it samples, or the sampling time, so I'm going to make it a bit faster. You can see how many seconds it's taking. Here we go. One of them is the time deviation, or time it's taken to sample. 1, 2, so it's 1 every second. So it's sampling every second here, it looks like, just by counting. I'm gonna switch it on. Here we go. Wow, the car hasn't even started. I'm gonna change that and make it a little bit smaller. Here we go. I'm gonna start the engine. Make it a little bit slower just to see what's going on. So I've made it a bit faster, the sampling. Yeah, maybe I'll leave it on this setting right there. It looks pretty good. Well, I'm not seeing much of a difference there. I'm gonna switch that off. Making a lot of noise in the neighborhood here. I haven't got a garage to work in, so I'm forced to pretty much work on the side of the road and in the front yard of my house. So that one does not make much difference. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that pin out. Take this probe off first. Disconnect this one. There we go. I'm gonna remove this pin from there. I'm gonna move it to the next one here, which is another green one. Here we go. So I've got it connected to the next green one. There it is there. Now I'm gonna try and see what it looks like on the wave here. Check the scope. Got nothing showing up. Switch it engine on. I don't see a thing, no difference. No difference. It's made no difference on that one, so that's not gonna be our airflow. I'm gonna try pushing it a bit further in, see if it makes any difference. I'm just gonna turn the engine on, see if it spikes. No spike. Nothing at all. No difference. That one is not the airflow. Try the next one. It's connected now to the red one. The red one here. Not the black one, but the red one. So I'm gonna try that one and see what happens. First thing I'll do is I'll switch the engine on. See if there's a difference here. Nothing. That engine is on. gonna start the engine now. Nothing, no spike, no voltage spike. I'll give it a bit of a rev, see what happens. Nothing. So far it looks like my airflow, the other ones are pretty good for something else, but definitely my airflow is this large green one, the big green with a yellow stripe. That's gonna be my airflow. So I'm gonna put it back on that one and do it all again. Back probe that. Oh boy, that's difficult. I'm gonna pause this video. Alright, we're back into the first one again, the big yellow, green with yellow. The one I think is the airflow. I'm gonna pause this video because this guy is about to. Okay, we're back. Let me switch the engine on. Switch it off. The focus is terrible on these things. Switch it on again. At least there's some action there. Off. On. Little bit. What? I'm not getting anything. I'm gonna check the connection. The connection is obviously not very good. Let me give it a bit of a rev. Alright, it's back on again. Had a wiring issue, wasn't connecting correctly there. Alright. I'm back on the first one again. I can definitely see a big spike at the beginning. Okay, let's play with this thing, see what it does. Ooh. You saw that, you heard that? That was a very rough run then. I didn't touch anything. Oh, this is what it looks like when it's a little bit faster. Actually a bit more amplified. That's what it looks like when it's fast. Try it on that spot and see what happens. I'm gonna slow it down a little bit because it's not making any sense to me. Slow it one more down. Okay, what else can I do with this? You can do so much with this thing, but you just need to know how to interpret it and how to use this thing. How to use it and interpret the figures. much of a difference. I'm gonna try another trick. I'm gonna just go and disconnect the airflow meter, just completely disconnect it from the plug. So I've taken that out. That's my probe. I'll just try removing it and see what happens. Sometimes people say that, you know, if you disconnect this thing, you can disconnect this, and if it makes a difference, a huge difference in the way it sounds, then it's probably working. If it doesn't make much of a difference, sometimes it doesn't make, you know, it'll run differently. So there we go. Well, it still continues to run. Now I've got a warning light there on the dash, the triangle. So at least I've got a code coming up. So if that was faulty, now let's just see what it sounds like. No oxygen, no airflow meter connected. Let's see what happens. It still runs. Man, that's weird. To me, that's not sounding much different. So I'm starting to think that very, very likely it's an airflow meter that's faulty here. If the driving characteristics haven't changed much and it drives the same, I'm gonna say that it's gonna be airflow meter. It probably drives even better without the airflow connected, you know, like it's actually, it must be running on the default setting. I'm being gentle, obviously. I'm not gonna start thrashing it. I just want to get an idea of what it feels like. Oh my. To be honest with you, it actually feels slightly better without the airflow. I'm so comfortable driving it right now. I've got more faith in the car right now with that thing disconnected. Before, with everything connected, I cannot guess what it's gonna do. The revs are all over the place. I cannot fault it. The last time we scanned it on a scan tool from a workshop nearby, there was no airflow issues. It was all just some other things in there. I'm very happy about this. I'm really, really happy. I feel like I'm getting somewhere.